It's a Josh Windass and Danny at a little press conference today, and it's interesting because when Windass said, I have full belief in the squad that we can go to this difficult venue and win. We have to find areas to make passing and create openings. It's not just Burnley's defensive record. They don't let teams have a lot of shots, so we have to find a way around it. But it's an unbelievable record. I don't remember seeing anything like it. It's a testament to their manager, defence and goalkeeper. But we are a team that scores goals, so if anyone can break a run, it's us. And he spoke about how having the captain armband is not something he really had a comment on it, as long as the player think he's doing well with it and they trust him and stuff like that. He also spoke about how he doesn't really do much of that, like going up to players, Beadle will just get on with it afterwards. And it was interesting when he got asked about his contract situation, because there was talk that we thought there was an option. Now it seems like it might not be. So for the talk over a new one, but I have not heard anything for a while. So basically, representation talking over it said, he said, I can't say yes or no because you never know in football. What's going to happen? I don't know the answer. If it doesn't come down, it doesn't come down to me, does it? If there's an offer on the table, then there's something I can consider. But until that point, I really haven't really thought about it. We'll see. I want to finish the season strongly to see where it takes me. I don't like talking about my future. What I like to happen in the next 3 or 4 years, or anything happens again. Like everyone in the dressing room, we just focus on what's going on and get it high in the table. And that's interesting how you put that, because a lot of people, including myself, thought there was another option on top of what he already have. That sounded like he only had a year, like it suggested with the whole situation with Santos in the January window, because there was talk about that, and I know he'd gone on certain other podcasts and said MLS is something he definitely does want to consider down the line, just because of this whole situation with his family. It was interesting just hearing Josh Windass speak. You know how confident he is, and you know how he is as a player and how he likes to play. And it's always interesting when it's always his future that gets brought up. And he's stayed. He had Dave when he probably could have left a couple of times over. And it's always interesting to see that in what Josh does. He's obviously happy playing here. He's happy playing under Danny. So it's going to be one of the cases where we wait and see what happens. Hopefully talks with people over contract can start happening soon, around February, March time. And, well, we're near the end of February, in the March international break time. So we can start getting these things sorted, because I know Danny said he didn't want to be dealing with these at the end of the season like he did last time. Then we go on to what Danny has said as well. So he spoke about James. He said James made some good saves. We don't talk about the big saves, just a mistake. We carry on. And he said he's got a strong mentality and he'd like to see them stick together and move forward. And he spoke about how there was the big saves that he's done to keep us in game, but no one's talking about that. They're all talking about the mistakes. He said, It's hard for people. We're talking about Charles and James debate. He said, you see what happened. And he did make it say that he sees the whole picture. But he also said that Beadle is our number one. So that's your thing there. Beadle is our number one. He said that. And I think that says everything about what we need to know. And I think I said it time and time again. Danny had spoke about Beadle being the number one and him being the only person who could be the number one for this season. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Much appreciate it. Liking helps the algorithm. Sharing gets in front of people's faces. And subscribing lets me know you like the channel. Hit that notification bell to let you know when videos go live and live streams happen. We got one tonight at 7 p.m. It will be our roundup. I'm going to need it because my kids have been a pain in the backside today. Danny is now the fourth longest manager in the Championship. It shows how competitive the league is, and if you don't get the results, you need good performances, and it just shows you how competitive. But he also said, I believe that teams need to have a situation where they can put their systems and their philosophies in place. He did say sometimes some of the sackings have not been right. But he also said the chairman backs him at the moment. He said about last season, getting mapped by Huddersfield, that could have been where some club would have sacked him, and luckily he got the backing of the manager to be by the chairman to keep him around and be around. He said the job, they got asked about how hard the pressure of it is. He said pressure's on the managers to build things and make sure they get things right, and that's something that he liked to do. He got asked if there's going to be any changes at the weekend, and he said you need to be flexible. Maybe there will be, maybe there won't. We'll just have to wait and see on that. Got asked if Danny has a day off, and he kind of said if you win, you're able to kind of have a day off a little bit more and be able to look at things. When you've got to get a 2-game week, harder to have a day off, and even harder if you lose them. When you've got a longer week, but it's always seemed to be ever present in the football idea of things and going into the right place, but it all depends. He got asked about the pitch. He said the pitch is not ideal at Hillsborough at the minute. They're doing the best they can on it, and he did speak about going to another place, i.e. like Burnley, and having a better pitch and maybe it being better for us and be able to do it. But again, we've got to be well organised on the day and play some good football, because it's one of those things where the pitch is the same for both sets of players on the pitch, and if teams are beating us at, say, Hillsborough, and we're not winning games, they're still playing on the same pitch as us, so it's interesting in that sense. Got asked if there's any new injuries. We know about Deshaun, Akin and Dom are slowly getting back. Dom is back on the grass. Akin, I think they said it'll probably be 10 days before the international break when he'll be back. And Masaba got a little setback in his injury. Barry's okay. He said there's a question mark on one of the players, but he won't say who that is. He said we're not looking at free agencies at all now because it'll be just too late to get them up to speed, so we can put that one to bed. He said he spoke about us going against top teams and said we struggle, and said it's not easy for us to go. We've done okay versus the likes of West Brom. We're fourth in the league for goals scored, which says we are scoring a lot of goals, but it's more at the other end in defence that we're really struggling. Got both about games near the end of the game, goals at the end of the game by us, and just said that we just need to do the better decision making and make sure we work on our game management and it's part of the game. He made Alex Mill made a hand comment about Baz and Stu being Celtic fans and saying it was a bit of banter, say it was a good game, it was interesting, and they just got it at the end. He didn't want to really put on a number as such as say what the touching distance of points would be, but he said there's like 24 points after the break. It could be tough to get those games, and we've got 5 games and they're really struggling. He spoke about the Masaba injury, saying he's had 2 injections and he probably will be back for the Plymouth game, but he will be hopefully around for the end of the season as well. He spoke about Sissoko's start. He said he's getting closer and closer. He likes his intensity right now in his sharpness, his balancing game. And at the same time, Olaf got mentioned, so what's going on with Olaf? And the thing he said, with Olaf, there's a lot of people in his position, so he's training well, he just needs to start trying to perform and get the job. He's open-minded, but he said at the end of the day, there's a lot of people in his position. If an injury happens, he's got to have the right mindset, and it's one of them. He spoke about Dom and Akin. Dom closer ahead of schedule, or around about the same point. Akin, we won't know again, like I said, till 10 days before the international break. Spoke about Bailey. With his injury, said he's doing okay. They spoke to some of the lone players like Sean and Co and just asked how they're doing. And he got asked, are they planning for pre-season already? He said yes, and he's more than likely going to go back to Germany and Austria for next season. And then he kind of pulled up on a point where he said Burnley's defending not special. He kind of said it's more that they know what they're doing and they do the basics right, and they got that thing where there's no mistakes. So that whole thing that I liked. It was a good presser by Danny. I think he's getting to the point you can tell he's ready for that international break to come. and just had a little bit of a break himself. But at the same time, you can tell that there's just bits and pieces that you just need to pick up on and sort out. And you could tell he was trying not to be too negative and be positive. If we can go to Burnley and get a result, then fantastic. A draw versus Burnley would be fantastic. If we nicked it, it would be fantastic. Do I see it? No, because it's how solid they are. But you never know on the night. These are the kind of games that you sometimes look at, you go, oh, can Sheffield want to do this? And sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. We'll have to see. But I thought it was a good presser. We got preview at 4 o'clock, so join us for that one. Live stream tonight, and then world of your oyster with what happened next. We'll have the match review tomorrow. Which will be probably later in the day, so we'll see. There might be a video beforehand in the day tomorrow, and then we'll have the usual thing I do on the games after, where we talk about what Danny said on the Saturday, and go from there and see how we do. But it could be an interesting week. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the rest of the week, which is tomorrow, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, I'll see you tonight if you are going to come and join me for the live stream, so speak to you later.